Welcome everyone, this is Greg with Assisting Hands Homecare again in our continuing series of advising people on home care, the home care experience, and what's that like. And I'm really pleased to have Robbin here today. Robbin's mom is a client of ours, and I've asked her to come and speak, and she's graciously agreed. Really just to talk about the home care experience, right? The goods, the bads, and just what is really kind of that experience like for a daughter trying to provide care for her mom and guide her through that experience, right? So, Robbin, thank you very much for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, excellent. And so, maybe just if you could, just give us a little bit of background of kind of what's your mom's situation, what initiated your thought of you might need some home care, maybe just kind of from the very beginning.
Well, I think the big thing is Mom is 95 years old.
Okay.
She is very independent.
Yep.
She is mentally alert.
Yep.
She's got her health challenges.
Sure.
So she's continuous oxygen from a smoker.
Okay.
She's frail. She uses a walker.
Okay.
So a fall risk.
Sure.
Bladder, urinary retention issues.
Sure.
So the reason we came to it is we wanted to keep Mom in her independent apartment.
Okay.
Versus putting her in assisted living or nursing care.
Sure.
And having the nurse aides there enabled us to do that.
Okay. All right. Great. Now, was your mom kind of in that initial? Did she feel that? Did she agree with you on kind of that assessment of kind of her need for assistance, or was she, I don't need help?
Oh my God, that was the hard part.
Yeah.
Mom is fiercely independent.
Mm-hmm.
Did not want to have somebody in her space.
Right.
She was very angry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her anger was kind of from being fearful and sad that she was losing her independence.
Sure, sure.
So initially, she didn't want to spend the money.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because she had saved her money to leave it to the kids.
Right. Okay. Okay. Good. And then, so how did you kind of overcome those things?
Well, we had several family meetings because there's 4 of us and Mom.
Yeah.
So we'd have a family meeting, and we'd all sit down and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, we were able to get her physicians
Okay.
to, when we'd go see them, we'd say, can you tell Mom, do you think she needs nursing care?
Right.
And so between them and the visiting nurses that would come,
Okay.
she eventually agreed to do it.
All right. Did what was that process like of, I guess maybe getting consensus with your brothers and sisters? Because oftentimes everyone has a different opinion about what Mom may or may not need.
3 of us were on the same page.
Okay.
1 of us was not.
Right. Okay.
So it was, the challenge was getting her to get on the same page.
Sure.
And she has the same fear of spending the money as Mom did.
Sure. Right.
So we finally got her to agree, and Mom's condition needed more care. And
Okay.
basically, if my sister wanted to be there, she could, or we could have someone in there.
Right.
And she
Okay.
agreed to have someone in there.
Okay. Now, do you have some family members that also come in, and have you guys arranged some things where, hey, we're going to have, a family member there for part of the day, or is it, and then, assisting hands for part of the day? How have you kind of settled on that as a family?
Well, the way we work it is my sister is retired, so she is typically there from 9 to 5.
Okay.
And then supplements a couple times during the week with another family member.
Okay.
So then once they leave at 5, then from there, Assisting Hands is in there.
Assisting Hands is in there.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Good. And how does that arrangement seem to be working out? What are the benefits and what are the strains of doing something like that?
Well, obviously the benefits for us is the peace of mind.
Okay.
It allows us to sleep at night.
Sure.
Because she's not by herself.
Right.
If in the middle of the night she starts to cough, because of her respiratory condition, they know to say, Helen, sit up.
Right.
Or Helen, let's get you some hot tea.
Mm-hmm.
Or here's a cough drop. Or Helen, maybe you should do a nebulizer treatment.
Okay.
So they're there, or if she has to go to the bathroom, they're there to walk in there with her so
Sure.
she falls,
Sure.
they're
Okay.
there.
Okay, good. Now, so you decided to have home care, and Assisting Hands came in and helped out. What was that first day like for your mom?
Again, it goes back to she was really angry.
Okay.
She didn't want to spend the money. She didn't want someone in her space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, it's all from fear of losing her independence.
Sure.
So it took probably 3 months before she finally accepted having someone there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what really helped is there was consistent caregivers, because we
Okay.
finally had consistent hours for
Right.
her.
Yeah.
And she got to relate to them.
Okay. Okay.
And that made a huge difference.
Okay, good. So 3 months, that's a considerable amount of time for an adjustment period,
Right.
right? So, so now, kind of, as an experience, kind of as you think about back onto that first day, is there anything that, or at least those first few weeks or things like that, is there anything that you may have done differently to help your mom adjust for that?
I don't think there's anything you could have done other than
Okay.
telling her she didn't have to pay for it.
Okay.
I think that was the huge part.
Okay.
And it just had to take time, and constantly checking with her to say, well, how did last night go, and what did you think of that caregiver, and
Okay.
did that go well, and
Right.
things
Okay.
like that.
Now, have you had to tell Assisting Hands that, hey, I don't think mom likes this caregiver, or maybe this caregiver didn't have necessarily the right skills that we thought mom would need? And so, first of all, did that happen? Okay, and then what was that process like?
Well, and it happened very few times,
Okay,
but there were some times when the fit wasn't right.
yeah,
It could have been mom didn't think that they respected her enough, or they
Sure.
didn't talk to her well enough, or they just
Right.
didn't build a rapport.
right,
And it was so easy, I would just call Carlicia,
okay,
and I'd say, hey, this one didn't work out, can we get
Okay.
someone else
okay, good,
taken care of?
okay,
It
good.
was wonderful.
It easily done, right?
Easily
and that's fairly common, and you always, when we talk to clients and things like that too, we always say, just let us know as soon as possible, right? Don't let it wait. So don't let it. Okay, all right, good.
That went well.
All right. So now, so it's been going, I know, for several months now. So describe the experience for your mom now.
Well, it's much smoother now.
Okay.
Because she has the relationship.
Okay.
She's got the relationship with Kiana, or
Mhm.
for Sally, or
Yeah.
Cheyenne, or Darnell,
Yeah.
or Beverly.
Okay.
And what's really kind of cool is they tell each other stories,
Okay.
about their lives. So they're more like friends,
Okay. Sure.
Sure. And that has made it much better.
Okay. Good. Do you have any, stories or experiences that maybe you could relate, either with the caregiver and your mom and stuff like that, and just that you could share with kind of how that can be a good experience?
Like a positive kind of thing
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when after dinner, she
Mhm.
goes down to the dining room for dinner.
Okay.
So they're always there to help her come back.
Right.
And she's extremely tired.
Yeah.
And so they're there to get her back.
Mhm.
They help her get ready for bed, remind her to do her nebulizer,
Okay.
remind her to do, Helen, don't forget to take your pills.
Yeah.
And she is so grateful that they just help her get into bed, because she's
Okay.
extremely tired at that point.
Good. And does your mom have any favorite caregivers?
Oh yeah. It's the Kiana, it's the Sally, Cheyenne, Darnell, Beverly.
Yeah.
Because they've built that relationship.
Okay. Excellent. What advice and counsel would you give to a son or daughter kind of going through the same experience, with their parents, and how to move forward?
I think the biggest thing is hearing stories from people that have gone through it,
Yeah.
and they can get those stories through you guys,
Okay.
through Assisting Hands,
Yeah.
because we feel all alone. I mean, we think
Sure.
we're the only people that have gone through this, and when you hear the stories about how families overcame objections or worked things, it really is helpful.
Okay. Great. Wonderful. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Robin, and really appreciate it. And I know, all of our family members and the people thinking about going down this experience or struggling with caring for their loved ones, that this has been extremely helpful. And I think the key point that you made that I really liked is that you're really not alone. A lot of people are going through this, and there's many organizations like us who are there to help out.
great.
Okay,
Thank you very
thank you.
much.
All right.